All right, guys, back with another video. We're less than 24 hours until UFC 273 goes down live from Jacksonville, Florida. I'm sitting here, I'm so excited. I'm rewatching the embeddeds. I'm going through some of the fighter interviews, and I just want to give my final thoughts on the card, you guys. Obviously, super stacked card, 2 title fights. We got a huge fight, premier fight in Hamza Chimaev versus Gilbert Burns. Just some takeaways, you know, things that I highlighted, but things I also didn't highlight that I want you guys to think about going into these fights. Don't underestimate Gilbert Burns, okay? We know Hamza Chimaev is good, but I'm picking Hamza to win. But don't underestimate Gilbert Burns. You're talking about a jiu-jitsu world champion. He's won ADCC trials. He's won IBJJF Open championships. You know what I'm saying? He gave Kamaru Usman a good challenge. Don't underestimate Gilbert Burns. On top of that, Mackenzie Dern versus Tecia Torres is another really good fight. And Tecia Torres is going in with the mindset that if she can outstrike Mackenzie Dern, keep the space and win. Now, I do think Mackenzie Dern can get that fight to the ground. She can get a submission. That'll be very interesting to see. They went a little bit back and forth with each other at the press conference. That was pretty fun to see. You don't really get to see, you know, the two, like the girl athletes really go at it like the men do. So, props to Mackenzie for wanting to talk a little bit and have a nice little exchange. I thought it was really interesting and I enjoyed it. Another thing, Aljamain Sterling versus Petr Yan. Guys, do not count Aljamain Sterling out. I don't know why, but I just have this weird feeling. And I could be wrong, but I have this weird feeling that something might happen tomorrow that maybe one of the champs is going to lose their belt. This has all these big card feelings, you know, something always happens that is unexpected, and we don't know which way it's going to go. In the main event, I do feel like Volkanovski will beat Korean Zombie rather decisively. And as long as Volkanovski's in the right mental space, I do believe he'll win that fight decisively. But there's something about Petr Yan versus Aljamain Sterling where I'm kind of like, man, what if Aljamain Sterling wins? What if Aljamain Sterling wins? Goes out there and he just wins. You know, TJ Dillashaw's there, who's the next fighter up, and he said, you know, I'm picking Petr Yan to win, but it's MMA and you never know what might happen. That's what makes this so interesting. You really don't know what might happen. Hamza Chimaev can go out there and get folded by Gilbert Burns in the first round. Aljamain Sterling can go out there and submit Petr Yan in the first round. We don't know. These are things, but although I pick certain fighters, I want to also give other fighters their respect and how dangerous they are. Gilbert Burns is a very dangerous fighter. Aljamain Sterling is a very dangerous fighter. The Korean Zombie is very, very dangerous fighter. Meaning because he's very unorthodox. He has a lot of different movements, a lot of different strikes. So that is something to keep in mind. But all in all, it's all going to make for a really, really great fight card. And even with Mackenzie Dern, yes, Mackenzie Dern has struggled with very, you know, high-level strikers. But what happens if one tie-up happens and gets to the ground and she takes her back? She can get her butt whipped for 3 rounds and you slip, fall, like Ortega and Volkanovski. Now you're in a mounted guillotine choke fighting for your, you know, your ability not to go out cold in front of everybody. So this is something like you got to think about, you know, as much as we can predict these fights, it's the unknown. Every time, you know, you hear John Anik come on there and he says Dateline, Jacksonville, Florida, UFC 273, it's the unknown, man. And that's what makes me so interested to watch these fights. That's what gets me so excited. That's what gets me, you know, excited to make these videos for you guys and just talk about it with you guys. And, you know, we're in for a treat tomorrow night, and I will make another video after the fights tomorrow, and we'll go over everything. But yes, my official predictions is Volkanovski will be winning, and still his title. I do believe Petr Yan will be and new bantamweight champion, undisputed, and I believe Hamza Chimaev will be Gilbert Burns. Now, if any of those people lose, I will not be surprised because they're going up against very high-level fighters. But anyways, I'll be back tomorrow for another video. Guys, let's watch these fights, have a good time. And I know we're going to be in for an amazing night. Take care.